Hello, I'm Tim Barnwell, and I'd like to welcome you to the Face of Appalachia, where we honor the people, vibrant culture, and strong traditions of the mountains we call home. Tell me what living in Appalachia means to you.
Oh, well, it's a good way of life. It's a good. We are kind of thought of, I guess, as backward people, but we are neighbors. Most everybody's friendly. Most everybody will throw up their hand when you meet them, and most people take you as a friend till you prove them different, or until they're proven different, whichever, because most people in Appalachia take somebody as a friend, and because that's the way we're used to being, is friendly with each other. Most everybody, if they see somebody in need, they try to help. Sometimes you don't have a lot to help with, but such as you have, and there's little things you can do that helps, when somebody's in need. And most everybody's neighbors, we're just neighbors, and that covers a lot of territory, being a neighbor.
Hello, I'm Tim Barnwell, and thanks for joining us today.
Hello everyone, my name is Scott Allen, and I'm a co-producer here at the Face of Appalachia. As we sit here this morning, it's just past the Thanksgiving holiday, and I wanted to take a moment to tell you how thankful I am for your continued support of our channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, as it helps us continue to bring you videos about these amazing people. I hope you'll stop by often and let us know what you're thinking in the comments below. We always look forward to reading what you have to say.
We met a lot of great folks while making episodes for the Face of Appalachia. One of the things we always want to know is what it means to them to live in Appalachia. We've been fascinated by their answers and thought we'd share some of those with you today. If you like what you see, we hope you'll check out some of our previous episodes. There, we feature many of these same folk. So Byron, what does living in Appalachia mean to you?
Well, it means to me church, family, good people, good neighbors, good life to me. Don't get no better than living here. With my work with the phone company, the first 8-10 years I worked the phone company, I traveled a lot. And I always knew that no matter where I went, I was going to end up back in Madison County living on the farm, because that to me was, you see a lot of people choosing to leave or go somewhere, but to me, I knew what we had there on the farm. And I always wanted that. That was always my desire, to be right there. And that's, to me, is the greatest thing about Appalachia. You can't beat it.
What does it mean to you to live in Appalachia?
Well, people have said, as a matter of fact, we had a pastor, our most recent pastor retired, and he'd come visit me and my wife, and he'd say, "John, you and Ann need to take a trip, go out west or something." And I said, "Jackie, there's not enough of these green mountains out there." I said, I just love these mountains, and I want to stick with them as much as I can. That's one reason I really hate to see, I guess, progress come to the point where you have these housing developments, these apartment complexes and things like that. And what do people have that have a place like that to live in? Maybe it suits their needs, but for me, I've got to have some elbow room. I've got to get out here and sit down on the stump and watch my cattle. People think, well, that's stupid. Well, it may be to some people, but it's medicine for me. kind of like I've heard people say it in the field of medicine, I guess, said that petting your dog helps your blood pressure. You've probably heard that expression. Well, when you get that kind of relaxation and enjoying watching the cattle and their behavior and watching your dog as he meanders around through the cattle and things like that, it just gives you an appreciation for what we got here in Appalachia, the mountains.
Tell me kind of what it means to you to live in Appalachia.
I love living here. It's kind of interesting. I like the sense of community. I like the trees. I mean, growing up inner city, it's interesting because it's the idea. Where I grew up was not very different as far as the way that people related to each other. In a way, it was like an urban village, whereas this is just more rural. And so I had no trouble relating to the people I've met here, because we were really brought up with similar values and similar ways of being. But the idea of the music and the crafts and the lifestyle that is continuous from one generation to the next, and having moved here at a time when a lot of the older generation people were still living, to me that was like, what an honor. I mean, I was kind of accepted and embraced by the community, and able to, people would share, their music with me, especially. I mean, but again, it's the same thing where I didn't come in and go, show me a tune.
Right.
It was like, oh, this guy's old. He needs wood brought in. Oh, this guy needs a pole barn built. Here, I'll come and do that. Then we'll share music. But I like that. That's what it means to me. That's the main thing. And plus, I met Gene. So.
Gene, how about you?
I love the mountains, and I love the trees. And when I was young, my family would come to the mountains in the summertime and stay for a month or two. And when I was 14, I said, this is where I'm going to live. This is where I want to be. There's something about the trees in these mountains that's just so special that it's nowhere else.
Well, I would mention one other thing. When I came here from Colorado with these friends who said, come here, people would like your music. We finished out a tour and everything. It was all good, and we're driving, and it was all, As soon as we got into North Carolina from Tennessee, up around Fines Creek and Harmon Den, literally, my whole energy just went and settled. And I never had felt at home, literally, on this earth until that happened. And I guess that's what it is to me.
And the mountains are just really special.
The mountains are just...
They're very healing, they're very loving, but in general, they are wonderful mountains.
Yeah.
This place is special.
That's it, yeah, absolutely.
So tell me what it means to you to live in Appalachia.
Safe. It's a good, safe place to live. Friends, neighbors, you couldn't beat them anywhere else. I wouldn't live anywhere else, If you need something, all you have to do is holler at your next door neighbor, or if I'm off working anywhere on Grapevine, I can holler at anybody on Grapevine. And that means a lot, doesn't it?
I'm proud I live here in the mountains, and I would never wanted to live nowhere else. Used to, when I go to work in Buncombe County, that Madison was called Old Bloody Madison. And every time people would say, oh, you're from Old Bloody Madison. Well, I was just proud to be from Madison. I'd rather be from right here as anywhere. I wouldn't want to live nowhere else, really. But I may have to, getting as old as I am. But I've always been proud that I lived here. People was always so good to you, and you never locked your doors. You never had to. And everybody visited each other. And if anybody had work to be done and you couldn't do it, they was there to do it. So these old mountain people, they're the best.
What does it mean to you to live in Appalachia?
To the best place in the world. The old customs and stuff are still alive, and most everybody around here has a garden. We was raised with a garden, and grow your own vegetables, and go to church and help your neighbors, and it's the only life that I would ever want. Now I'm older, and I maybe growing up I didn't realize how important it was, but now I look back and it was the only life I'd want, and it would be good for everybody if they could have been raised that way and live where we live in these mountains and learn the customs and have good neighbors and good family. It's just been the best life ever.
If you share my interest in the people and places I call home, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to learn more about this way of life. On this channel, I hope to continue to honor the people, vibrant culture, and strong traditions of Appalachia.